It happened on a Saturday evening, the kind that pretends to be casual but smells like performance. Her father's estate was all glass and gold trim, an altar to self-importance. Laughter rolled through the living room like static. They loved to perform affluence. Every word was an investment in image. I was just the quiet variable in their equation. He lifted his whiskey and said it like a joke. He's just a warehouse worker, but he's got a good work ethic, salt of the earth. The room laughed politely, except for her sister, who didn't bother hiding her smirk. So embarrassing. My wife didn't defend me. She never did. She just adjusted her bracelet and looked away. That was her silence, not neutral, but convenient. I smiled, not the kind that reaches your eyes, the kind that conceals a fuse. On the TV behind them, a news anchor's voice cut through the chatter. Tonight's feature, meet the tech world's newest billion-dollar CEO, the anonymous founder of Argus Systems, a logistics AI company revolutionizing global transport. My photo appeared on screen. The room froze. The air thickened. Her father's drink stopped halfway to his mouth. Her sister's lips parted, ready to speak, then closed again. I didn't turn toward the screen. I didn't need to. I'd spent years perfecting invisibility. Tonight was just the reveal. My wife had always wanted status, not love. She called it ambition. I called it hunger. When we met, I was working nights, building code in a rented room that smelled of dust and failure. She said she admired my drive. What she really admired was potential, something she could attach her mane to once it bloomed. But she got bored waiting. Her father didn't help. He liked his daughters to marry power, not promises. The first time she called me unmotivated, I let it pass. The second time, she said it in front of friends. The third time, she didn't need to. The silence between us said enough. I stopped sharing updates on my project. She stopped pretending to care. Every night, while she scrolled through her phone, I wrote code that mapped the world's shipping inefficiencies, data no one else could process cleanly. The night she called me a warehouse worker, I realized she'd already chosen sides. But I didn't confront her. You don't expose betrayal. You let it bloom under observation. Her family thought they were clever, small, coordinated humiliations dressed as humor. "Do you ever plan to move up?" her sister asked once. "Up from where?" I replied. That quiet unnerved them. They mistook silence for surrender. Meanwhile, Argus Systems grew, quietly, under a shell company. My name was hidden behind layers of anonymity and NDAs. Investors never knew who I was, only that I delivered results. At home, she kept spending more, loving less. Every receipt was a confession. Every glance toward her phone, a tell. When she started seeing her ex again, the investment broker, I didn't stop her. I even liked the symmetry of it. He'd once laughed at my hands, said they were made for lifting crates. He'd soon learn they also built empires. The press release for Argus's acquisition by Atlas Corp was scheduled for that weekend. $1.2 billion. Her father's partners were Atlas Corp investors. Poetic, how some fires light themselves. When the segment aired that night, no one spoke for almost a full minute. The silence was surgical. The camera showed me in a gray suit, shaking hands with Atlas Corp's CEO. The anchor's voice carried, "After years operating under anonymity, the founder has finally revealed himself." My wife's father looked at me like he was seeing a ghost he'd mocked too soon. Her sister stammered, searching for irony that didn't exist. My wife, she just sat there, her eyes wet, but not from love, from recognition. You didn't tell me," she whispered. I looked at her, steady. "You never asked." No anger, no satisfaction. Just truth, the kind that burns clean. I didn't gloat. I didn't raise my voice. I simply stood. I should go. Early meeting tomorrow. As I walked past her father, I placed a small envelope on the counter. Inside was a signed agreement, the purchase of his struggling logistics firm. Argus Systems now owned it outright. "Consider it a partnership," I said. "You'll report to my board." His face collapsed inward. Her sister turned pale. My wife looked down, realizing every insult was now property of the man they dismissed. I left them there, staring at a TV still playing my name. I didn't see my wife again after that night. She texted once, something about a mistake, about love. I didn't reply. Love wasn't what she wanted. Love doesn't humiliate you for sport. I learned that people like her don't betray you when they leave. They betray you while staying. Now I work in quiet offices high above the same city that once pitied me. The money doesn't matter. The silence does. Sometimes I drive past her father's old company, now rebranded with my logo. The warehouse lights still burn late. Workers move like ghosts through the aisles. One of them might look up someday and think, "He's just a warehouse worker." They'll be right. That's exactly what I wanted them to think.